Yo, what up, family? It's your dog, the Ultra Melanite, coming to you live and direct from Charleston, South Carolina, aka the Holy City. And today we're going to be discussing crime in the black community, or in the so-called black community, because as y'all know, crime is a very big problem for our people today. So we got to answer the question of why. Before we get into the why, let's give you a couple of numbers, man. Black people are incarcerated at a higher rate than all NATO countries put together. That means that we see a rate of over 2,000 people per every 100,000 people of incarceration. You dig what I'm saying? While white people, our counterpart, only see about a rate of 450 people per every 100,000 people. You dig? That's an astronomical number. For the United States to be the land of the free and the home of the brave, why is it that we incarcerate more people than every other country in the world? We incarcerate more people than the people in China, who the United States citizens talk crap about. Or we incarcerate more people than the country of Russia. Russia doesn't incarcerate as much people as us, but yet they say the land of the free and the home of the brave. And I'm going to wait for the comments down there for y'all boy to say, well, yeah, then if you don't like it, head and leave. Nah, bruh. That's ours. So we ain't going nowhere. What we're going to do is we're going to fix the problem. If you got a problem, you leave. You know what I'm saying? And you can leave in a better way. I got a good way in mind for you to leave. But we ain't going to get into that right now. We talk about incarceration rates. You dig what I'm saying? Black people see over 2,000 per every 100,000 citizens of incarceration. That means that you have a very high chance, if you are a black male, that you're going to be incarcerated at some point in your life. And I ain't talking about, taken to jail for murder or nothing like that. I'm talking about being stalked, being searched. All of that is a form of incarceration. If at any point in your life you're not free to do what you want to do, if a police stop you and say you wasn't wearing your seatbelt and he want to search you, that's incarceration. You dig what I'm saying? Because at that point you ain't free to do what you want to do. I a grown man. I ain't trying to let nobody tell me what to do. You feel me? You dig me? But let's go to the etymology of crime so we can try to dig into this, us versus their mentality, and who are the criminals, who are the actual criminals, you dig? Let's get into that part. Right. Boom. So let's talk the etymology of the word crime, you dig what I'm saying? The word crime comes from a group of people in ancient Europe called the Crimeans, all right? They are people that didn't really have a culture. They were very barbaric. Their culture was lawlessness, rape, plunder, pillage. The strongest does what he wills, and anybody else, sorry for you. Like that old Viking mentality, Game of Thrones type of thing. So the word crime, because y'all know we deal with language here, the word crime is directly related to the group of people in Europe called the Crimeans. The word criminal is literally synonymous with the word Crimeans, and there's still a place in Europe till this day called the Crimea. And if y'all know, there's a lot of fighting and stuff that's been going on for the Crimea. That's one of their holy lands, So this lets you know how our hierarchy feels about us. They rule with a mentality that they do what they want to do to the weaker people. You dig? Y'all ever heard of the Kremlin in Russia? Well, if you translate the word Kremlin into modern English, that word would say crime land. It wouldn't say Kremlin. That's because you're speaking it from another language pretty much. The word is crime land, you dig? They telling you what type of people they are. They telling you the type of people you're dealing with. So when we think of crime, you have to understand where it originated at. That crime culture is the culture of these people called the Crimeans. So let's think of some terms of crimes and let's do the words. Us here at the village pretty much put all major crimes, all unnatural crimes in one category we're going to call robbery, all right? Because if you rob someone of their life, you murder them. If you rob someone of their sexuality, you rape them. So essentially, the word robbery covers all of these words when it comes down to the criminal activities that we consider to be unnatural, things that should be punishable by nature. You dig what I'm saying? So let's break down the term rob. The term rob is the same as the term robe. You dig? It represents the hierarchy in Europe. The word rob and the word robe is the same word. If you paid attention to a couple of our previous videos, you should understand that the word candidate means the white robed people, the Senate, the KKK. That's why the KKK wears the white robe, because they represent that culture. Now, the term in the criminalistic ideal has been translated to the term rob. But rob and roll represent the same thing. So they're letting you know that the people at the higher level, the white robe people, can commit these crimes and nothing can happen to them because they are the people in power. That's pretty much what they're letting you know. So here again, we show you where another one of these words tie back into their hierarchical system, their criminal system. You dig? Let's think another word. Throw one at me. Let's see, vandal. All right. If you was to vandalize something, you would be destroying somebody's property or destroying something to someone's, which is very unnatural. You shouldn't do that. You dig? The term vandal comes from another group of European barbarians called the Vandals. That's the term vandalize. Comes from these people. You dig? The Romans and stuff tried to build walls and did everything they could to keep these people from even coming into these cities. You dig? Well, that's the people who are ruling now. That's the people who are in power. They feel that long as they in power, they can do whatever they want to do. They set the laws for us. If they want to come into your house and kidnap you, they can. And they can all say it under the guise of the criminal justice system. You dig what I'm saying? If you get into an altercation with a law enforcement officer and he kills you, they can say that's fine because it's under the guise of the criminal justice system. So it's legal for these people to be criminals because they are. That's their nature. They are the crimeans. They are criminals. They tell you who they are. Remember, when you listen that the court system is called the criminal justice system. It's not called the justice system. It's called the criminal justice system. It's the system where the criminals can remain in power and inflict justice or punishment on whomever they will. You dig what I'm saying? That's why it's very, very important for us to learn etymology and us to learn where these words come from and where we really come from. Because the biggest thing plaguing the black community right now is how they destroyed the black family. We are separated from the black family through incarceration. So they set up laws like we're talking about the word crime, all right? So I want you to think in your head, what does it take for a person to do for you to consider them a criminal? What does a person have to do for you to consider that person a criminal? You dig what I'm saying? Is smoking weed a criminalistic act? Should a person be taken away from his family for smoking weed? If you think so, then you the criminal. You the enemy. A person shouldn't be taken away from his family for child support. That makes the situation even worse, right? You know, you can't say that, oh, I hate the government, but yet you want the government to go incarcerate your baby daddy for a couple $100. What if he couldn't pay his light bill? What if he couldn't pay that rent? Now, me personally, I got my children, so I ain't in that boat. I don't want you to say, oh, you defending people, deadbeat dads. No, I hate deadbeat dads. You feel me? I hate them boys. But in the same aspect, no man should have the power to incarcerate another man for that act. You as a woman should think about the choices that you make when you lay down with these men. Sorry, but that's how it goes. A person should not be separated from their family for selling drugs. You telling me you're going to give a person life in jail for selling drugs? Nah, that's not cool. You are the criminals. Who takes away a person from their family for their whole life? You dig what I'm saying? And this is just a short little rant on criminology so y'all can understand the etymology of crime and where it comes from. The people who are at the top, they are the true criminals. Now, we still going to get into why there's so much actual crime in the black community, because there's a lot of actual crime. You know, unnatural crimes like violent, people murdering each other, people raping each other, robbing each other. That's the problem in the black community right there that I want to address. I don't consider a person who smoked weed and went to jail from these demons to be a criminal. That person is not a criminal. So when I speak in the term of criminology or criminal aspect from our community, I'm talking about the people who hurt our community. I'm talking about the people who rape, rob, pillage, and murder. I'm not talking about you being a free man and doing what you want to do that doesn't harm your neighbor. You dig what I'm saying? So let's not get it twisted. Well, we're not going to lump these drug dealers and drug users in the same class with murderers. We're not going to be like them. So the issue we need to address in the black community is the rape, the robbery, the murder. You know, the disregard for one another. That's the issues we need to address. Cool. And we're going to address them right now. All right, so right quick before I jump off this thing, if you want to ask me personally what I feel is the biggest problem that causes crime in the black community and causes the biggest destructive force in the black community, I would say it's ourselves. Because, see, I want y'all to understand that we all got the same enemy, white, black, yellow, it don't matter. It's just one major difference. Black people are not able to be controlled through things like the government or through TV or through subliminal messaging on billboards. Most people have to be programmed to be non-sympathetic to another person's plight. That comes from programming. Black people were harder to program, so they had to use us and our music and our entertainment to program ourselves. If you want to ask me personally what's the biggest problem, I would have to say one of them is music itself. Our people were so attracted to music that at a point where the music shifted and we got into this destructive music force, we got our 3-year-old children listening to it. That's what programs us, because we program ourselves. At the point that we integrated, we lost ourselves. Understand? Because no other person integrated. That's why the Arabs doing better than the blacks when they come to America, the Chinese, the Mexicans, because they support their own systems, and them systems grow enough till they can become their own identity. Where our systems don't get a chance to grow anymore, because when we get LeBron James or Michael Jordan, they get all this money, they don't build a hood, they go and they move away from the hood. You think that's our entertainments, you know what I'm saying? When you look at football, y'all talking about Colin Kaepernick, this man making millions and millions of dollars. If he had want to do something for the hood, he could have do something other than kneel. Y'all boy go put together by your own football team. Put out your own network. Get support from your own people. But nah, we won't do that, you dig what I'm saying? So if you want to ask me personally, I think the number one thing we would have to do at this point is get the music out of our household. That type of hate or destructive music, teaching us to hate our women, teaching us to hate ourselves and to kill the dudes from around the corner. You dig? Because that's the lifestyle that we living in the swamp. You know, we don't like the next man from the street around the corner, when other races don't have that problem. White people can walk on any corner in white neighborhoods and not have a problem. We can't go to each other's neighborhoods without facing a problem. Come on. So our biggest problem in the black community is ourselves. We lost the love, big homies. We got to get the love back into the music. Let the children know at a young age to love their family to the point that they're willing to die for their family. And then extend that family out to the brothers around the corner. You dig what I'm saying? And get it to where all of this love joining and everybody willing to die and live together. You feel me? Peace. Let me know what y'all think down below in the comments. You feel me? But we out. Ultra Melanite 2018. Peace out, baby.